Hey guys, I'm here to do a review on the new Stealth 2. I'm going to go out and hit some golf balls up on the practice ground using the GC Quad, and also go out on the golf course and hit a few shots and see how it performs. I've also got my Stealth, which I've got in the bag at the moment, and see how it compares. Probably the Stealth 1 for me is probably the best driver I've ever had in the bag. It had sort of mixed reviews last year, the Stealth, because of its forgiveness. So, but certainly for someone like myself who hit it out the middle, majority of the time, not always, but for me hitting out the middle, it went as long as I've ever hit it off the tee, and yeah, I drove it probably last year better than I ever have. So I'm intrigued to see what Stealth 2 has to offer. I've been just having a little look online what they are saying about it, TaylorMade. They're sticking with obviously carbon face, and what they have over the last couple of years had twist face technology. Love twist face. I think it's a great way. And again, you know, they've stuck with it for many drivers now. Probably going back to Sim 4 maybe. So quite a few years they've had the twist face in the driver, and I think it works really well. The big one for this year that they're saying is the forgiveness. So it's going to be interesting for when I hit them up on the range, if I do catch them a little bit not quite out the middle, how they perform, because I think that's what a lot of people want to know is the forgiveness in the new Stealth 2. How much forgiveness is there, if so, or is there not? But yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Again, they've actually added more carbon to the Stealth 2 this year. This is apparently so they can redistribute the mass of the driver, and also it help the forgiveness and the stability of the driver. So we're interested to see. In terms of the look, it's very much the same colour scheme as Stealth 1, the black and the black and red. In terms of the looks, not a massive deal. They've gone with a shiny crown of the head, top of the head, which I actually quite like. I like that look instead of the matte finishes that we sort of see with a lot of drivers these days. With the original Stealth 2 as opposed to the Plus, there's almost a red ring that goes around the back. I think that actually looks quite smart. On the Stealth Plus, it's just a black ring that would be original for it. But in terms of looks, I do like the look of it. I'm looking forward to getting out on the practice ground and giving it a hit. But yeah, first initial thoughts, I like the look of it, but we want to see what the performance is like. So stay tuned. Hopefully in the next couple of minutes, we're going to get a real good in-depth look and compare it to my original Stealth.
Okay, so I started off by hitting my driver, the original Stealth. Like I say, I really do get on well with my driver anyway. Was just hitting a few up there, as you could probably see by the flags blowing. It was playing quite into and off the left. It probably wasn't the best day for a driver review. So the numbers are always going to be down in terms of carry distance, as you may see anyway. But just sort of hit 5 or 6 up there, just getting a feel for it, hitting some shots up, see what it was coming out like and how far I was hitting it, and then give me a good indication on the difference between Stealth 1 and 2. I didn't quite catch everyone out the middle, so it was going to be interesting to see when I didn't hit it out the middle what the difference would be. And here's my numbers with my driver as I then move on to Stealth 2. So Stealth 2, using a 10.5 head, probably not really the right head for me, but I was hitting it quite well, so maybe I don't know everything. I might actually benefit from a 10.5 head with a Stealth 2, something a bit more spinny. But I actually hit it so middle with this one. I was really surprised on how well out the middle I was hitting it. As I was hitting it down there, just getting a bit of a reading. It was also quite interesting, even when I was hitting it, the wind, usually I play a left to right, so this is not a favourable wind for me, but it was pretty much staying quite straight through the air as I was hitting it up. And as the numbers see, as they now pop up on the screen, they were pretty much up on the driver I was hit. The probably one I could say is that backspin number's a bit too high for me, but in terms of Stealth 2, hit it really nicely. As we move on to Stealth 2 Plus, this is the one I've been going at and trying just recently, certainly out on the golf course. I've already had a hit with this. Again, I'm using the same shaft throughout. But yeah, this is the one I really wanted to see the numbers of, because I'm interested to get the Stealth 2 Plus in the bag. I hit it really nicely, and I was just noticing I didn't actually hit any of these that well. Wasn't quite catching it 100% out the middle, but they were still getting down there really nicely. And we was probably seeing from last year that Stealth 1 that if I don't quite catch it 100%, it doesn't go as well. But even these ones where I weren't 100% hitting them, they were going nicely. Again, it was controlling it into that wind, which generally I do struggle with, that left to right wind. But I was hitting it well into it. And then as the numbers come up, we can see that I had more ball speed, which is always good. Backspin numbers about where I want it, 2.1, and that carry distance of 2.57, which is a bit down for me, but they were all a bit down just because of hitting into that wind. And then I went on to the golf course, had a little hit out on the course, and yeah, hit it really nicely again. I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay, so some interesting readings going off from the hitting the balls up on the practice ground. I hit my driver first, so maybe my ball speed might have been down a little bit just because I went, it was almost a few loosen up shots. I did hit some looseners, but certainly as I got going, I may have just picked up a bit of club head speed. So looking at the numbers, it's quite interesting because the original Stealth 2, as opposed to the Plus, would probably have been the one that I would have said, no, that wouldn't be for me, because I had 10.5 head as well. It's designed to launch that little bit higher than the Plus, so it's the one I sort of didn't think I'd perform as well with, but I actually hit it really well. And also, it might just pop up now, is you'll see how well I was striking out the middle of the club, which was great. I was banging it really out the middle. As you can almost see my strike marks on the side of the video. But yeah, hit it really well, Stealth 2. But comparing it to my driver, the ball speed from Stealth 2 to my driver was slightly up, not masses in terms of it, about 1 mile an hour. Also, I was launching it at a little bit higher, which Stealth 2, as opposed to the Plus, is designed to do anyway, and I had a 10.5 head, so it was always going to launch that bit higher. Hit it fairly straight. The spin rate numbers were up, which again is to be anticipated because I hit it with 10.5, so it was always going to be a little bit more spinny. And that design of the Stealth 2 is to be a bit more spinny than the Plus, which I have in my bag at the moment. In terms of distance, yeah, hitting it a little bit further with the Stealth 2, but that might have been down to me just being a bit more looser for those swings. But yeah, hit it really, really well. I'm surprised by Stealth 2 in terms of my game, because that's probably not something that I'd get in the bag, but hit it really well, hit it really middled, which was great. But moving on to Stealth 2, Plus, the ball speed was definitely up even more so. I was averaging at 154 nearly. So, my carry distance was a bit down because and you can see in the video the wind was coming off the left, off the left into. So I'd usually be carrying it about 275. So when I was hitting the Stealth 2 Plus, I was averaging it 257 through the air, but hitting it pretty consistently. Hit it really well. Backspin numbers were good, 2,100, and again, I used the same shaft throughout, but yeah, I was almost hitting it 10 yards further. Again, probably a couple of those yards were down to being a bit more looser for those swings as I started to get a bit more into it, but yeah, hit it really well. Really impressed with Stealth 2, and definitely more forgiving off the face. So it'll be interesting to see if you can get in, have a little go with it and see what you think, because there is a few people that have gone out. I've used it on the golf course quite a few times now, so I'm getting a bit more used to Stealth 2 Plus. Hopefully going to get it in the bag pretty soon, as opposed to the demo, but definitely that bit more forgiving. So if you are like TaylorMade drivers, but you didn't like Stealth original because that forgiveness weren't there, I think there is a lot more forgiveness in the face. I hope you've enjoyed listening to the video, and hope if you've got any questions on it regarding Stealth 2, pop in to see me and we'll see what we can do. All right, thank you.